Hey guys, welcome to the next Jafo Paints video. Thought I'd show you the next set we're working with, the next Hero and Monster set, Sorcerers versus Lord Tusk. More importantly though, now that you've seen those, let's take a look at who we're actually doing. We're working with Sarah, the Elven Noble Warrior. She's gonna paint up very much like our Azrael video. We are gonna change up one or two things here to do it a little bit differently and maybe, I don't know, just make her look a little different. But here, let's take a quick look at our figure. A little bit more open posed than Azrael is. She's got hair. Oh, that's one thing I forgot on my list of things to do. Forgot hair. So there we go. We'll quickly go over our paints. As you can see, here's our paint supply. Don't mind some other studio work that's going off in the back. I got bloody zombie marines and being stuff and built, just because, you know, things and reasons. So we'll go with our same combination we did for the blue for her cloak, or her dress skirt cloaky thing. We'll start with a base of Calidor Sky. We'll then cover that up with some Jack and Hoof Nightshade. Once that's dry, we'll get in there with a layer of Techless Blue, and then we'll edge the highest spots with some Lothern Blue. So that takes care of all of our blues. In the flesh department, she is very, very little, which makes me extremely happy. You guys know how much I love flesh on miniatures. Or is that dislike flesh on miniatures? So let me get my little pointer stick here, and I'll show you exactly where the flesh is. It's this little triangle here, and this itty-bitty stripe through her face. That's it. Oh, and her hands. Her hands are bare. That's it. That's all the nakedness she has. If I feel up to it, we'll go the full elf flesh route. So Cadian, Kislev, with the wash of Reichland. Chances are, I'll just come to my senses and we'll just use Kislev. All of the gold on her armor will be in Retributor armor. We'll do her hair up in Steel Legion Drab, because she's that brunette color. Any of her pouches that she does have on her, we'll do in our XV88, which of course will get inked with Nuln Oil. Our basing material, as always, is Dawnstone. And now last time we did Azrael, we did him in a metal medium from Vallejo. Today we're going to do it a little bit different, and we're going to use Stormhost Silver. So we're going to see if this produces the same effect, and I'll even do a comparison of Sarah with Azrael at the end, and you guys can determine which one, or if you like the way it looks, or which one's better, or whatever. But let's begin. I already got my Calidor Sky on my palette. I'm using my small layer brush, and if I feel up to it, if I have it, a small base brush will also be used. I don't know if I have a small base brush, so we'll just use the small layer brush. I do have a medium base brush, we can use that. We are going to use our Calidor Sky, and we're going to start with all of the blue on her. And all of the blue is just all of the dress you see flowing all the way down. You want to be careful around the, I guess it would be a cod piece. She doesn't really wear a cod piece because she's not a he. But I'll just show you kind of where, you know, paint by numbers where we're going to paint. And I'll be right back to show you what it looks like. There we go. We now have all of the blue, I guess. There are a couple of things you can make your own judgment. I'm going to zoom in here. Right here. You can choose, it's up to you. You can either choose to make this flesh, or you can choose to make this cloth, and she's wearing like a turtleneck of sorts. Also right here, I kind of made the decision to go up and into the armpit area and make that cloth, and then make it an upper arm bracer. We got cloth there, and cloth all around there. It's okay if you slop a little bit. We are going to cover all over that. However, the next step that we're going to do, time to ink that with some Hoof Nightshade. Just going to apply that all over, and I'll be right back and show you what it looks like. There we go with the Hoof Nightshade. It has really darkened down our Calidor blue. The next step we're going to go to is biggest other object on the table is going to be her shields, or all the metal on her, not her shields, not just her shields. But yes, it will be all of there, all of there. We're going to do her slightly bent sword there, most of the helmet. So yeah, I'm going to get working on that. I'll be right back and show you what that looks like when we're done. There we go. We now have our Storm Host Silver applied. She just looks shining and bright, and honestly, I think it looks really, really nice. You can tell that she is a noble warrior ready to delve into the dungeons, not for gold and treasure, but to prevent the darkness from attacking and harming her village. And the villages of all, I guess, humankind, mankind. Let's call it mankind and womankind. I guess it's a girl. Let's be politically correct and all that junk. So, before we get into weird arguments about stupid, time for the hair. Steel Legion Drab. Already applied to my palette. And we're just going to do the hair. And if you're wondering why throughout her armor, like there, and there, it's not quote-unquote finished, it's because we're going to use gold on top of that. But that we'll come back to. Make sure you get all of the hair, both front and back of the model. I'll clean it all up, and we'll be right back. There we go. We now have that Steel Legion Drab, which is going to start our brunette hair color. Normally I would ink this before we go on, but since we are about to do another color that's getting the same color wash, we're going to move to doing that. So we're going to move to our XV88, which is what we use for our leathers. You're going to get this. There's a little bag underneath her hair here. And then there's a couple of pouches around the corner here. That's it. That's all she's got. So in fact, I don't even need to watch or turn the camera off for you guys. I don't think I do. Haha. Not like I do anything kind of, magical behind the camera. Unless you find painting miniatures magical, and then I guess I do lots of magic. And I also realized right underneath there's another hip plate that she needs to have painted silver, so we'll get to that too. So, and then that's it. And then we're going to wash this whole thing in Null Oil. So that I will turn the camera off for real quick. Clean that all up. Put that extra plate in, and I'll be right back and show you what that looks like. Alright, there we go. We've got the ink applied, the bag's done. I also noticed on the art, she actually has some leather strapping on... let me zoom in a little better here. There we go, some leather strapping on that shield. So we did that. Now it's time to apply some gold. So that's going to be all of the hilt of the hilt, the shoulder pads, her belt buckle, the rivets on the shields there, and her kneecap. Let me quick zoom out here. Oh, and of course, the top crest of her helmet there. Also, I did add another paint, so make sure you grab that out of your bucket. We're going to use Soulstone Blue, and right there, that gem right in the center of her forehead, we're going to make that blue. And actually, I was thinking, while I'm at it, we're going to turn these 3 large rivets into gems. I think that'll look really cool. So, but next we're applying the gold. So we're going to put it here, 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 and there. I'm going to clean that all up, and I'll show you what it's in a second. There we go. We now have the gold applied, and she just stands out in all of her shining brightness of awesomeness. It's now time to the most dreaded part of every miniature that Jafo paints for this channel. flesh tone. I did make the on-the-fly audible, as it were. We're gonna start with Kislev flesh. We're not gonna highlight it at all because it's such a tiny spots. I will show you exactly where the flesh is on this miniature. Right there. Right there. Right there. And in there. That's it. 4 spots, very tiny. We don't need to do much to this miniature. So I'm going to clean that all up, and I will be right back. All right, there we go. We now have pretty much a completed model. I think this would look fantastic on the tabletop. But of course, we're not done. It's not how we do it here at Jafo Studios. So it's time. We'll put our first layer paint on. We're going to do some Techless Blue. You want to hit all the high areas of the model, leaving all of the shadow into the creases of the cloak or dressy thingy majiggy that she's wearing. If somebody knows what that is, tell me what it is. I'm going to call it a dress. I think it's a dress. It's at least fitting this time on the girl. So I'm going to go around, finish all that up, and I'll show you what that looks like in a second, guys. And there we go. We've now brought up a lot of brightness back into the dress, skirt, cloaky thingy. Under armor, I guess. So the next thing we're going to do just a light edge highlighting with some Lothern blue. And we want to pick like the edges of the cape here, or this thing right here. And it's just going to give a little bit of brightness to it. So I just want to do light edge highlighting to it. Probably do it all to the cape, and it's just going to kind of give it that little bit of sheen that you would see if the light hit it just right. So anywhere that you got really sharp edges, so the edges of the cape here. So I'm going to go ahead and work on that. I'll be right back. Alright, and there we go. As you can see, those transitions are very subtle. You can't even really tell them once they dry. So we have one more color to add. As I'm shaking the camera, I apologize. I'm trying to get close enough here. And that is going to be our technical paint, Soulstone Blue. And we're going to put it on the gem on our forehead. And then we're going to do on the back here. You just want to put it on and pull up. Put it on and pull up. And that'll kind of create that gemstone look. Get some more paint, and we're going to do this on the big one. And this time we're going to do it in like 2 or 3 passes because this is a pretty big stone. So I'm going to do that and then pull up. Now, because this is me and my figure, there is a couple more things I am going to do. I'm going to go back in with the Steel Legion drab, and I'm just going to kind of pick out some of the high spots on her hair, like that, just to kind of give it a little bit of light look to it. Nothing super fancy, and of course, as you've seen me do in the past, or at least heard about me doing in the past, I'm just going to kind of pick out parts of the bags to kind of give them a little bit of life. And go here, there, and there. All we have left to do, and I'll be right back to show you what it looks like at the end, is to paint our base, and we are done. And as always, all of my guys are based in Dawnstone. I'll be right back to show you what that looks like. And there you go. We have completed our Sarah, the Noble Warrior Elf. She is ready to defend her clan, I guess, the world, everything. So there we go. Painted our base up. And I brought out her brother in arms, Azrael, so you guys can see. You almost cannot tell a difference as far as like what I used for the metallics. The figure on the right was used using the Vallejo metal medium. The figure on the left was made using Stormhost silver from Citadel Miniatures. I think one thing I am going to do is I'm going to touch up that gemstone and give it a much deeper look. So that's what I got for you today. As always, if you like this video, please hit that like button down below. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing to it. Also, you'll see at the end of this video a link, or not a link, but a mention. If you are, I don't know, unmotivated, don't have the time for it, whatever, to paint your own stuff, I do have my own painting studio, painting house, so that I would be willing to, paint your miniatures for a commission, of course, for you. So you can find that at the Warhammer Painting Panda on Facebook. And yeah, that's what I got for you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.